So now you know what this facility does. It harvests lightning, which gets stored in the pots, which get put in the freezer or put on transport to another base. And then, well, I don't know what the harvested lightning would be used for. None of the books I read mentioned anything of the sort. They also didn't explain how to measure the charge inside a pot. So just to be safe, I gave all my pots a purple label. Purple means, as you can see here, highest charge, thus cold storage is mandatory. I actually think the room up top that I briefly showed to you last time and that I'm heading to right now may have something to do with it. But being out here all by myself, I couldn't try it out during the storm. It was already enough of a risk running back and forth between the harvest room, that's the one with the freezer, and the observation chamber, that's the one with the books. Oh yeah, now that I'm up here. Look at this tree. It's seen its fair share of lightning if you ask me. And further down, there's a broken pipe oozing some kind of orangey brown goo. I guess a fallen branch must have hit it, probably during a storm. Anyway, moving inside. This contraption here, I think it's for inspecting the walls for damage. There's a platform hanging down there that should be able to move up and down, and then the entire thing should be able to move to the end of the track and back. But I can't get it to work. It seems to me like there's a lever or a button or something missing, but I don't see it anywhere. I don't know. I thought the screens on the wall were for measuring the charge, but maybe they're for controlling the thingy, or both. It's a damn pity I can't get them to switch on. Something I did figure out is this. The way I understand it is that you're supposed to launch the rocket into the air by clicking the button right as a storm approaches. As it shoots up, the cable that's attached to the rocket uncoils. Because it's metal, the cable attracts the lightning and guides it to the tower. A neat way to make sure all lightning comes this way to get harvested. But as I said, I couldn't use it. As for the portals, there's two actually, one on top of the other. They're a safety feature. They switch on as lightning strikes to get rid of any excess energy that couldn't get captured. Which is why you saw me switch them off in between lightning strikes. If I hadn't, this entire facility could have blown up. But the people who ran this facility never went through the portals. I know this because I went through myself, and there's nothing on the other side. Okay, there's stuff there, but none of it very nice. I would have instantly left, but then I saw what looked like quartz ore hanging from the ceiling, so of course I had to collect it, and then I explored a bit more. I had arrived atop some weird vegetation, so I dug down to ground level and then tunneled in the 4 cardinal directions. Going north, I found lava. Going east, I found lava. Going south, I found lava. Going west, I found 2 cute creatures and more lava. The Nether is what the villagers call this place. I would have called it hell. So yes, that was an interesting excursion. I don't plan on going back there, unless I need more quartz. I will show you the materials I collected in the Nether in a moment, but let's first take a look around this corner. What does it say about the people who ran this facility that they put the portrait of the founder in this, what I can only call a storage nook? Anyway, this is that big tree again. It broke plain through the wall. And then I want to take you outside. I didn't clear out the space yet. I sort of like this overgrown aesthetic. Although, at some point it's gonna have to go. But back here, and also over there, you can't see it from here. So those are 2 sugarcane farms. When I got here initially, they were both under maintenance with all the observers missing. But thanks to that trip to the Nether, I was able to craft new components, and now they're up and running again. This is some old footage of me fixing the farm. I find it very silly that whoever ran this facility put both farms under maintenance at the same time. I guess they must have had their reasons. This chest contains all the materials I collected in the Nether. I'm especially interested in the plant-like stuff, which I'll be investigating in detail as soon as I find the time. There's one stack of dust stuff missing, because that I used to craft observers and comparators. And then there's these chests. No idea why anybody would want this many slime balls. And there's plenty space for more. This is where they come up, although it's easier to see when we go this way. Ah, we're in luck. The farm itself is underground. The wall to my left, that's where the pool is, which I'm now gonna go underneath. And then that's the first layer of the farm. There's an iron golem in there somewhere. There, I think. It's easier to see on the lower level. Now, I am by no means an expert when it comes to slime farms, but I do think this is a bit of a dated design with the mushrooms and all. Yet it seems to be working rather well, so why change it, right? A llama dude just showed up. Not sure how he got in, but he says he has news regarding Blake too, which he will only share with me after I've bought his stuff. Ah, there's some emeralds. I knew I'd seen them somewhere, quite a lot as well. Let's hope he won't make me buy all his stock. I mean, the dude wants to sell me slime balls of all things. I'll take the fish. They're a special variety, right? I'm not interested in the regular ones. And the dye. Still not enough? Okay, then I'll take the mangrove, and the jungle wood, and the ferns. Are we good? Yeah? Okay, so you're saying Blake 2 was seen heading south. Are you sure? Sorry, please don't run off. I just wanted to make sure before telling the family. I mean, you were pointing north just now. Okay, so south it is. If he is to be believed. I'm not gonna go after Blake 2 for the time being, but I'll pass on the news to her family. They'll be happy to hear she's thriving. Crap. That's what he sold me. These are the commonest of the most common fish imaginable, except for the stripy which I'd left behind in the boat. I'll add them to the collection, but I'm not happy with it. It makes me doubt Llama Dude's words. Unfortunately, I've already informed the family and I don't want to go back now and tell them my source was unreliable. I haven't been up here for quite a while. There was no reason to, and I still haven't found a botany expert. But now that I've got easy access to observers and comparators, there's something I want to check. Yeah, this room is the perfect place to set up a couple of plant-based experiments. I can already picture it. Underneath the stairs, I'll install the 1181 RW. That's a bespoke research station to test the growth conditions for all sorts of grasses and bushes. In the floor here, I'll put a lichenator. The recess will ensure the lichen doesn't spread to the entire facility, which is often a problem with this type of experiment. This corner will be dedicated to hanging roots. And then against the wall, let me see. 1, 2, yeah, there's enough space. Here I'll put 4 TF analyzers side by side. TF stands for tall flowers. That's what I'll be studying here. On the opposite side, I'd like to install 2 desks. One to observe the zombie, the other to monitor the villagers. And then this part of the zombie holding cell I'll push back creating just enough room to fit a fernifier. Over here, I'll move the access to the lower floor over by a block, I think, so I can install a big window right here with a balcony and a status board on each side. At a glance, I'll be able to tell how well the experiments are doing and which ones need urgent maintenance. I imagine I may also want to install a walkway up top. It would connect to the stairs, allowing for an easy look into the iron column chamber, and then lead to an extra balcony up there. In this corner, I'll install the turbo flip rate. And then here in the middle, I think I'll put a long desk. I said, and then here in the middle, I'll put a long desk. Okay, fine. I didn't build that one yet, because I haven't quite made up my mind. All these experiments need a healthy supply of bone meal to function, and I don't know if I want the bone meal to come up here or over there in that corner. The bone meal would come from the iron farm. The annoying thing is that I'll have to rework its entire storage system, so it's not something I'll be doing today. Where do you think the bone meal supply should go? I was about to sign off on this mission report, but I received urgent tidings from the idiot village. They're requesting my help, so that's where I'm heading. Oh my, what's happened here? This is not at all what this place used to look like. If I remember correctly, there used to be a hill over there. And there definitely wasn't this much water all over the place. Wow. Okay, this is what they said happened, and I quote because I find this very hard to believe. Without any warning, the terrain around the village suddenly fell out of the world. For a split second, we were surrounded by nothingness. Then, just as quick, the world righted itself. But not quite, because the terrain had changed. Well, I named this place Idiot Village for a reason. But there's no denying that something went terribly wrong, so I'm going to investigate. I can't do it right away because this new river arm is really deep, for which I don't have the equipment. I'm not even sure I'll be able to tackle it in my next mission report, but it is urgent. This is a deeply concerned Robin on the Zebra mission. Over and out.